Hi neighbors, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. My name is Jerri-ellen and it is my pleasure to have you here. It really truly is, and I hope that you're all doing fantastic. I have something to show you before we get into what this video is today. Neighbors, look, I have no socks on. You want to know why I don't have any socks on, neighbors? Because you guys knocked them off. You knocked me out of my socks, or you blew my socks off, or whatever they say. Because you are so wonderful. I have to thank you all so much for subscribing, for viewing, for liking, for sharing, all those beautiful things that I love in the neighborhood here. And I love you guys. So today's video, if I was a betting person, if I made bets, I could bet some of you are going to some parties over the holidays, some gatherings, some potlucks, or having people over maybe. So I have a recipe for you. They're going to be asking you for the recipe after they have some, because it's something. Well, years ago on the channel, I made Russian chicken, but I haven't showed you the Russian chicken meatballs. And the sauce, oh my gosh, Russian chicken meatballs and this sauce, take it to your next potluck. They're going to love it. You're going to love it. Anyway, let's get into this video.
Okay, neighbors, let's get to. In a bowl, I have 2 pounds of ground chicken. I'm adding a tablespoon of minced garlic to this. And then I'm going to add 2 squirts of ketchup, so 2 tablespoons of ketchup. My meat is a little bit wet. It has a little bit of water in it. When I was thawing it out in the refrigerator, I put it in a pan of cool water, the package, to try to help it thaw a little quicker. And some of the water seeped in to the package. So got my meat a little bit more wet than it normally would be, but that's okay. You just add more breadcrumbs when needed. I added half a cup of milk because milk helps tenderize meat, and when I'm making chicken meatballs, I like to add canned milk because of the fat content in it. So I added a cup of the evaporated milk and a cup of breadcrumbs to this. I will be adding a bit more breadcrumbs. And I'm looking ahead of myself, I'll tell you in a second, because right now I am adding 3 large eggs. Normally, for when I'm making meatballs, I add 1 large egg per pound of ground meat. But when I make the chicken meatballs, I like to add 3 to help it really bind well for when it cooks up later in the sauce. And now I'm adding some salt. Probably, well, this is pepper actually. I'm adding pepper. Probably more like a 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And then like a teaspoon of salt. Then a teaspoon of onion powder and a teaspoon of paprika. A sweet paprika, Spanish paprika, whatever paprika you have. And now I'm just going to wash my hands and get them in there. I'm going to give it all a good mix before I add my panko breadcrumbs. I'm going to add a cup of panko breadcrumbs to this as well. I like the panko in with the chicken meatballs. It gives it another nice texture to it. But if you don't have panko breadcrumbs, just add more of your regular breadcrumbs. Oh, and by the way, my breadcrumbs that I'm using are seasoned breadcrumbs, just so you know. Italian seasoned breadcrumbs is what I'm using. And I'm just finishing adding that cup of panko breadcrumbs that I was telling you that I was going to add. I don't lie. And also, neighbors, the texture of this meatball mix, of these chicken meatballs, they're going to be sticky, like a thick paste that they're going to feel like in your hands. So if you wet your hands when you're rolling them, they won't tend to stick to your hands very much or at all if you wet your hands every so often. And I'm just rolling them into golf ball size meatballs, and I'm going to fry them up in the frying pan, but not all the way around, because I just want browning on part of the meatball, because I don't want to have the meatball not be able to absorb some of the flavors from the sauce that we're going to make. Tasty, tasty, delicious. And yeah, so I'm just going to keep rolling and frying. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, neighbors, I just browned up 54 meatballs. You're probably going to get anywhere between 50 and 55 meatballs, depending on how big you roll them. I wouldn't make them too big. Bottle of apricot jam onto the sauce. 500 milliliter bottle of apricot jam. Delicious. It's not the only thing that's going to be in the sauce. This sauce is absolutely wonderful. I'm going to make a lot of it because that's basically the star of it. This I usually make along with these Russian chicken meatballs. I do my oven fried rice. I'll link that in this video as well, because the oven fried rice and this, oh my gosh, even rice just itself, go for it. Anyway, the whole bottle, 500 milliliter apricot jam, the whole thing in the pot. Turn it on, no more than medium heat. You don't want to burn it because there is sugars in it. Okay, Russian salad dressing, Kraft Russian dressing. Delicious. We're going to add a whole bottle. I am going to be adding more because I'm going to be making a lot of sauce. But hang in there, keep watching, and you'll get it. You'll get the whole recipe. Okay, I add a little bit of water to that, like a few tablespoons. Swish it on about because you don't want to waste. Don't want to waste anything. It's delicious. So I've added that to it. And I'm going to add a package of onion soup mix. In total, I will be adding 2 onion soup mixes. But I just want to start mixing this all about and get it all starting to melt. And then I'm going to add a half bottle of Russian salad dressing. So in total, 1.5 bottle. And the other package of onion soup mix. And I'm just going to continue mixing this until it's melted together. Okay? And then after that, you're going to pour it all over your meatballs. Delicious. I can't even tell you how delicious this is. You're just going to have to try it because it's awesome. And usually, I'm going to throw this in the oven 1 second. 350 degrees Fahrenheit is what I bake them at. I'll put foil over the top and then I'll put them in the oven. Now when I serve this, I make a pan of oven fried rice. I have that on my channel. I'm going to link it in the description box or wherever I can link it for you to find, because serve it up with the oven fried rice, because what a good combo. I'm telling you, you're going to be at the belle of the ball. It's going to be a hit. Now I'm flipping them to the lighter side. I'm trying to put the lighter side up on some of these because this got sugar in it, so they're going to brown a bit more in the sauce. So I'm just flipping them because they are already browned on one side, basically. So I'm just flipping as many of them over as I can. And like I say, I'm just going to cover them up and pop those in the oven. And tipperoonie, neighbors, put your pan on top of a baking sheet because just in case you don't want this bubbling over into your oven. Yeah, the ones on top I find will get a bit more browning. The ones on top. Anyway, popped them in the oven. I'm going to show you a couple of things around the house. Some Christmas ideas maybe for y'all. Yesterday I decorated this tree in love and memory of my mama. Her birthday would have been December 10th. But on this tree, I'm going to zoom in on an ornament. I went to Michael's years back and I bought a bunch of these little porcelain or ceramic ornaments, and I picked up permanent marker in Christmas colors, red and green, that won't wash off the ceramic, and I put them on everybody's place setting which I would do at dinner parties over Christmas. Everybody had something at their place setting. And this particular year I picked those up and had everybody write their name on the ornament. And I had the year on the back so everybody can take one home with them. And another Christmas, Casey and I made these hillbilly wine glasses for everybody at each seating. And I went to the dollar store and I picked up the candlestick on the bottom there for the handle and the mason jars. And I used a particular glue, not a hot glue that's just going to come off on you. They won't last. I used a particular glue that you would use to glue glass together, and then you bake it on a low heat for whatever amount of time the glue tells you to, and it will last. Because I made these, I don't know, probably 10, 12 years ago. And now I just use them. I put little fairy lights in them at Christmas time, a little keepsake. So every year, when I hosted parties or dinners at my place, or even when we went to other people's places, I would take something over for everybody for their for at each setting, so that everybody has a little bit of something. I hit the table there, sorry. Oh, I took these out of the oven, and I gotta find the shot that I took them out of the oven. Anyway, I took them out of the oven, and I divided them into these two pans equally. And now I'm pouring the sauce over them, because what I'm going to do is let them come to room temperature. On the package, I put down how many meatballs, chicken Russian meatballs or Russian chicken meatballs, and how many are in each package, and the date that I made them. So that way I can just take them out and reheat them for dinner, one of the times that we have a gathering or something. So anyway, I got that done. And I did a tasty poo. I gotta find that clip. You gotta have a tasty poo. There's the clip of me taking them out of the oven. I'm just checking the internal temperature. You want them to be 165 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit to make sure that they're cooked all the way through. And I'm just going to get a little meatball and show you, open it up and show you. And neighbors, it took an hour, maybe a little more than an hour, for them to be cooked all the way through. And if you want, just check on them halfway through that hour and give them a gentle stir if you want. But it is so good. I hope that you do try this recipe, because it is a favorite that we do over the holidays that everybody seems to enjoy. And I can't believe, after I think 4 years of being on YouTube, that I'm just getting around to sharing this recipe with you all. The recipe is in the description box under the video. I'm going to leave some links there. I'm going to leave printable recipes for you. All the info is under the video in the description box. And I hope to see you again. Peace, love, and God bless. Take care, everyone. Bye.